In a time of uncertainty, there is one thing that is crystal clear. COVID-19 may have delayed your progress, but it will never stop your shine. You have prepared for this, studied for this, put in countless hours for this, sacrificed for this, planned for this, and now this? A pandemic disease can stop you? Please. I've seen your tenacity, your pull through, your passion, your grit, your determination, your action, your follow up and follow through, and now this. Yes, this is your time. The time for the world to see you, to love you, to celebrate you. This is your time. The time for you to share a bond with the entire world, because what you have experienced has no barriers. It doesn't matter what county, what city, what state, what nation. You will always go down in history as the class that received less, but definitely deserved more. As we social distance, we become more thankful for our existence. There's no prom, so there's sadness. There's no football, band, dance, or March Madness. But despite the circumstances, you have risen through the ashes and validated your triumph victory over the unchangeable situation that we are now facing. As the world pauses, this is not a time of shrinking back, but a time of showing the world resiliency, value, and the content of your character. Since I cannot take the stage and you cannot walk across it, this quarantine commencement message will sweep across the nation as we share it with our friends, families, co-workers, and of course our potential employers. This is your time, the time for the world to see you, to love you, and to celebrate you. Everyone under the sound of my voice realizes that we are living in unprecedented times. Therefore, you deserve an unprecedented message. One that is not filled with advice from a business executive or motivational speaker, but one that is filled with practicality and promise. Therefore, today, I will not focus on specific advice from my career, but I will remind you of 5 things the world is teaching us all right now. And it doesn't matter whether you're graduating from 5th grade or receiving your doctorate degree. All these things apply to those that are willing to listen. Number 1, we have built and are still building up a high tolerance for uncertainty and an antibodies needed for change. If there is one thing we have learned in this pandemic, we have definitely learned that change is inevitable. Either we decide to change ourselves, or we will be forever changed by the circumstances surrounding us. Many things in life will be outside of our control, but the constant element of success that harbors inside of us relies heavily on our mindsets and our responses to the way the wind blows. Fortunately, you have been springboarded into a time of transformational change. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it doesn't feel good. I know it feels painful to seemingly miss out on things that you have looked forward to for a very long time, but what you have experienced will no doubt forever separate you from any other graduating class ever.
The coronavirus has impacted me in both positive and negative ways. I think for a lot of seniors, we've all kind of felt like we've been deprived of our most important experiences, especially the ones that are pretty huge at the end of the year.
Number 2, the experience has reinforced in us that every single day we have a mindset choice. As soon as we wake up, we are faced with a fork in the road. We can take the path less traveled, or we can throw away the amazing leadership quality of recognizing the good in all situations. I've watched you. You're still smiling. You're still celebrating. It doesn't matter whether a graduation party was replaced with a yard sign, or whether your season was canceled and you didn't get a chance to put a bow on your high school or college career. True winners know that victory happens in the mind. Those that conquer mindset, limit negativity, and expand their horizons outside of the field, outside of the gym, outside of the theater, outside of the classroom, are those that will persevere through all adversity. Wherever you go, whatever you do, do it with the right attitude, and you are guaranteed to pandemic, you have strengthened a muscle for designing a vision. In the weeks of shutdown, we didn't have much to do but to look forward. What an amazing experience that was. Often we find ourselves wrapped up in running here and running there and worried about this and worried about that, but there was beauty in the time of quarantine. It allowed us space and time to focus. And focusing is a prerequisite to designing a vision and a life of success. Here's some advice. Always be grateful for what you have, but never stop thinking about what's next. And when it appears that you don't have time, make sure that you make time. Make time to think. Make time to plan. Make time to design, to act, to follow up, to ask questions, to fail, to scrap the whole project, to start all over again, to forgive yourself, to learn, to apply, and to yet rise again. And rise you will, as long as you have a great plan and great execution. Number 4, no matter how far away from home you will eventually go, you have been taught through this pandemic ways to love your family and your friends from a distance. Let's face it, it's been very tough not seeing our friends and family and interacting with them as we once did. But this time has provided clarity to us on what and who is important. Number 5, the pandemic has proved that more people are cheering for you than you will ever recognize. We know the work that you have put in. We know what you deserve. We know what you will miss out on. We know that you are somewhat disappointed. We know that it's not fair. But did you know that the world is cheering you on from the UK to KU? Did you know that we see you? Did you know that we are proud of you? Did you know that we love you? If you didn't know or had any doubts, millions of grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, uncles and aunties, cousins, friends, mentors, faculty, and the like are smiling today just because of you. We celebrate your accomplishments despite a worldwide pandemic. We know that what you have learned and experienced in these unprecedented times will only prepare you for where you are going next. Yes, we do see you. We do love you. And we do celebrate you today. Never forget what this time has taught you, because we will never forget you and all of your sacrifices. Congratulations, friend. With all this hassle, you may now turn your tassel.